So when Jesus heard about the news of John the Baptist beheaded, he was he was sorrowful for that, and he went in a solitude place. But the cloud followed him. And it came in the evening, and the disciples told them, "This crowd has been with us. Send them away in the villages to go and buy food for themselves," because it was in the evening. But Jesus said, "They need not go away. Give them something to eat." And the disciples said, "We have only 5 loaves here and 2 fish." And he said, "Bring it here to me." And he ordered the crowd to sit down on the glass. And taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, he looked up in heaven and he said a blessing. So he broke the bread and gave them to his disciples, and they gave them to the crowds. They all ate and were satisfied. And they took up 12 baskets full of the broken pieces of leftovers. And those who fed were 5,000 men, besides women and children. Jesus fed another 4,000 men who were with him for 3 days after he had came from Jerusalem, and then he went to Tyre in Sidon. Here he healed many people who were crippled, who were lame, who did who were blind, who were mute, and the crowd the crowd wondered when they saw all these people, all these mute people speaking, the crippled healthy, the lame walking, and the blind seeing, and they glorified the God of Israel. So Jesus was compassionate of them, of the crowd, because they have been with him now for 3 days and have nothing to eat. So he was not willing to send them away hungry, lest they faint on their way. So here he performed another miracle of feeding the 4,000 with. And the disciples said to him, "Where are we going to get enough bread in such desolate place to to feed so great a crowd?" And Jesus said to them, "How many loaves do you have?" They said, "7 and a few fish." Remember, the others were 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. But here we have 7 loaves of bread and a few fish. So he directed the crowd to sit down. He took the 7 loaves and the fish, and having given thanks, here he gave thanks. The disciples and the disciples were given what Jesus had gave thanks, and they gave them to the crowd, and they ate and were satisfied. And they took up 7 baskets full of broken pieces of leftover. Here we have 7 baskets of leftovers, but in the feeding of the 5,000, we had 12 baskets of leftovers. Those who ate were 4,000 men, besides women and children. And after sending the crowds away, he got into a boat and went to a region of Magada. He went to a region of Magadan. Sorry. So Jesus he fed 5,000 with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, and the other he fed 4,000 with 7 fish, 7 loaves of bread, and a few fish, and all of them were satisfied. The first one had 12 baskets of leftovers, and the other one had 7 baskets of leftovers, and they were counting only men in thousands and not counting the women and the children. So you can imagine how he fed a big crowd with such a little food.